So, welcome. And I got a handout that he gave me that I'm going to pass on to you guys.
Thank you, Scott. Don't speak it. Do I need to use this or?
You don't need to.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. I think we need to give it up for Scott Jelinek and my man, Kevin.
Yeah.
Every time I have a problem, 100% of the time, that guy has an answer for me. Now, whether he has to go do some research or something like that, he gets me out of a bind. And it is actually an honor. I need one too. Thank you, brother. It is actually an honor to be in front of you today because these guys here, both of us took a blood bath in 2007-8, and we are here to tell about it. Not a lot of people can actually say that, can they? All right. So let's get into this today. We are talking about land trusts. Thank you guys so much. So you got your trustee handout. You will have to. This is fill in the blanks. This is not me up here just talking. I do need to hear you talk back to me or this stuff gets real boring, okay?
Okay.
You're not going to raise your hand? Okay, all right. Okay, land trust training. It took me, let me rewind a little bit. Since 2004, I have been buying and selling real estate. I met Scott, 2007, 8, 9. And I learned about this thing called a land trust in 2007. It took me 3 years to deploy it, right? So Scott, I would like to ask, when did you hear about land trust? Forever, but there's so much I didn't understand. I still don't understand it. I just know now I have a need. A need. So you haven't even deployed it? No, I haven't started doing it. So I don't want anybody in here to feel bad. Scott, both of us took forever to deploy these strategies. So Scott is still, hopefully he's going to be deploying it after today. But land trust, it feels like this big nebulous blob, like a trust, and then you got beneficiaries and trustee and then beneficial interest and all that stuff. I want you to know, wipe it away because it is extremely simple to understand land trust, okay? All we're doing is taking title to a piece of real estate. And it's nothing but black ink on white paper. We've all seen that on a daily basis, especially my man with the 34 houses. Congratulations, my friend. Come on in, buddy. There's a handout down there. Okay. Land trust, line number 1, is nothing but a way to take title to a piece of real property. So we had a handout in class while I was teaching this thing, and I don't want you to get left behind. So I put the link in the video description for you to actually download this handout as well. You'll be able to follow along and fill in the blanks so you can comprehend and understand exactly how you can stop buying houses in your name or your LLC as well. We use trusts, right? So download the handout, follow along, take good notes, and fill in the blanks so you understand this stuff. The more it's like mind to hand, so it'll actually sink in, all right? Go ahead and download the handout right now, and you can follow along. Nothing but a way to take title, and you do have to uncross your arms and write down title right there.
I did write it down.
Oh, you are? Okay, all right. You already got it down. Well, you're fast. All right. I got my eye on you. You're fast. So it took me some time to understand this concept, right? I'm like, why do I want to use a land trust? Well, who cares? Why wouldn't I just put the property in my LLC like most of us do? I used to do. Prime example, Scott's talking about it right now. He called me up maybe a year ago, said he needed to start looking into doing land trust because of this problem right here. So I coach and train people around the country too, right? And I've got just different type of clients. So recently I had a client, a general contractor, owned a property in his LLC. He went out and did a roof for somebody. Roof started to leak. Some damage happened to the property. So the homeowner took him to court. Now he rectified the problem, but sometimes little old ladies just you can't satisfy them. He fixed the problem, but they still wanted to come after him, right? I see you shaking your head. You might have met some little old ladies like that too. No disrespect to old ladies. But so anyway, long story short, they got a judgment against the guy. And what happens, does everybody know what happens when you get a judgment against you or your LLC? What happens to your real estate? It attaches to the real estate too, right? So if you get a judgment or some creditor or predator gets some type of judgment against you, it attaches to all your real estate too, right? So I just didn't want to be in that boat. How many people don't want to be in that boat? Good, good. So today, after today, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be in that boat anymore. Now, yes, if somebody wants to come after you, they will get you if they have a conversation with their pocketbook. All right. So we're not trying to hide from our obligations. All we're trying to do with a land trust is make whoever is coming after us have a conversation with their purse. All right. And generally speaking, usually how this works is they're not going to start hiring an attorney to go digging and find out who owns a land trust. All right. So what happened to me, I don't know, many years back when I first started deploying land trusts, I sold a house, as we all do, and sometimes for some reason the taxes, they get paid or they may not get paid, they get missed. So with this property that I bought, when I sold it, 6 months later, the taxes came up that I owed the taxes, some back taxes. And they sent me the tax bill and it was in the name of my land trust, $1,200. So from my mentor studying, luckily when we buy property in a land trust, the only thing that trust owns is that one house. And once we sell that property, the land trust goes in the trash. So they came after me for back taxes. I took the piece of paper, put it in the trash, never heard from them again. Never heard from them again. The good thing about trust is once you sell the property, it's not like your LLC. You're going to be operating under your LLC for years to come. So when you sell that property 3-4 years ago and something happens, when they do the title search and they see all that stuff, whose LLC is going to come up? Yours. What's going on, Roundup homies? I hope you are enjoying this video. Listen, if you're not using the right online software to do all the heavy lifting for you, I promise you are missing the boat. The competition is going to crush you. I'm talking about looking online to find out seller information, mortgage information, pre-foreclosures, vacant houses, probate properties, skip tracing. How much does the seller owe? Is there a first mortgage, second mortgage? All that stuff regarding the property. And PropStream is the service that we use. PropStream is how I go online and find out all the data about a certain property or an area. And we have a nice gift for you today where you're going to get a 7-day free trial. All you have to do is go to krispropertydata.com. It's going to be somewhere, or the link's in the video description. And there's a little SKU here where you can actually just scan it with your phone and get rolling right now. Don't get left behind. The competition is going to crush you. It's not like when I was coming up through the ranks, there was no online software, right? So get logged in, stay ahead of the game so you'll know what's going on in your area. And further, you'll be ahead of the competition, all right? So get signed up right now and don't miss the boat, all right? But you're gonna do everything right? You're not gonna screw over old ladies, right? All right, there are three, everybody say three. Three basic moving parts to a land trust. Now you understand so far that it is nothing but a way to take title to a piece of real estate. Y'all got that? Mm-hmm. It is nothing but a way to take title to a piece of real estate. It took me years to, I'm like, what is it? Do you do this, that? That's all. That's it. Just like your name or your entity. A land trust is nothing but an entity that you take title to a piece of real estate, period. Don't make it more than that if you don't mind. That's it. It does nothing but own real estate. The three basic moving parts. The first part is the trust agreement. Everybody say trust. Trust agreement. The second part is the beneficiary. And the third part is going to be your trustee. We're going to go over these three moving parts. So simple, y'all. If I can get this, I promise you can get this stuff. The first thing is going to be your trust agreement, and it's about 9 pages. And my mentor says, Kris, if you're looking for a way to go to sleep, read your land trust documents. It's 9 pages, and it's just legal jargon talking about what the duties of your trustee and the duties of the beneficiary. That's pretty much it. 9 pages. I've yet to read one all the way through. But I can't tell you how many houses we've bought in trusts, and we teach this stuff all around the country. All right, so what is a trust? This comes from your Barron's book. An arrangement whereby property is transferred to a trusted third party. Our blank there is third. That's going to be our trustee, right? I'm going to bring this all together so you kind of understand it. The trustee holds property for the benefit of another, which is the beneficiary, all right? So everybody repeat, the trustee is your employee. Everybody say employee. Employee. And the beneficiary is going to be me. Beneficiary is going to be me. So your trustee is kind of like your employee, and the beneficiary is me. Now your trustee, the next line here, the one who holds property in trust for another to secure performance of an obligation. They are the neutral part in a trust deed transaction. So the good thing about land trusts, let's say I had this, my trustee filed bankruptcy one time. I'm like, holy cow, am I gonna have to deal with this when I go sell this property? Luckily, the trustee, and it's written in your trust agreement, your trustee has zero liability when it comes to the land trust, right? So they could go down the street, crash into somebody in a car, get $1 million judgment against them, has no effect against your trust, all right? They're just an employee. The beneficiary is the person who receives or is to receive the benefit resulting from an ownership position or contract. I like that word benefit. We want to benefit from doing deals, right? The person who benefits. So if your trustee is out there taking all the bullets, signing all the paperwork on your behalf, the trustee can sign everything. They can sign loan documents, they can sign leases, they can sign refinance docs, they can sign the deed. They will sign your deed. I haven't signed a deed. It's been almost 10 years, y'all. Wow. Yeah, I haven't signed a deed. We don't sign deeds. The trustee goes to closing on our behalf and they sign the deed. That's a lot of power. Better be somebody you trust. Better be somebody you trust. You know, we have ways around that to make sure that they're not going to sell our property in the middle of the night, you know, but we have ways to get around that. But the trustee is going to be somebody that you, generally speaking, trust. And we use somebody with a different last name. Kris, why do you want your trustee to have the different last name? Because your trustee does go on title. Your trustee goes on your deed. So it looks like, let's say for instance, how we name our trusts when we buy a house. Let's say we're buying 123 Easy Street. We name our trust the 123 Trust. Who owns the 123 Trust? You don't know. It's just a ghost. I've seen it. I've seen my mentor pull up $1 million properties, number trust, right? That's all it is. And when you want to come look for that person, what do you do? Who do you go after? Who do you call, right? That's why I don't want your name on public record. I need my name tags. What's your name, brother?
I don't know.
Ron?
You didn't want his name on public record either.
Why you do that? I forgot I was going to say it. I was like,
I don't want my name on public record.
He's listening.
okay. Threw me off with that one. I'm like, what is my name? You don't want your name on public record. I don't want my name on public record. Neither do I want my LLC on public record. Because in Virginia, it's real easy to go to the SEC site and then pull up the registered agent, and then so we go down the rabbit hole finding this stuff, right? Okay, so look at our diagram at the bottom here. I wanted you to kind of see the flow of using a trust. So the house, generally speaking, when we buy a property, who owns the house? We do. Generally speaking, we do, right? We own the property. Our LLC, that's my house, right? I own that property, right? No more after today. So the house goes into the trust. The trust is considered personal property. We don't own the property. We simply own the trust. All right? We do not own the property anymore. So I can really tell my tenants now, I'm not the owner. I'm not the owner. I'm just a manager. The house goes into the trust. Your trustee is on the deed. So when they do that search, they're going to see Joe Smith as your trustee. Has nothing to do with you, right? When they see your deed, the title search. Your trustee is signing all the docs. I like to kind of look at it, the analogy. He's out in the front taking all the bullets, right? Everybody's doing that title search. They're seeing Joe Blow, Joe Blow, Joe Blow. You're a ghost. When they do title searches, you don't own the property. You are, number 3, the beneficiary. You're in the background, guys, benefiting from the transaction. You are the ones collecting the checks. Rent, disposition, selling the property, down payments, refinancing. You're the guy in the background. Now, you do have to show up to collect the check. But you don't mind doing that, though, right? But you don't have to sign the documents. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, what if my trustee goes rogue and refinances my property? Right? Anybody thinking that?
Yeah.
What if he goes rogue? Well, you can always put some debt on it, right? You can put some debt on it to prevent that because the title search is going to come up. And so if you got another lien on it, you can make yourself a lien holder. That's one way. Follow me on that? Make yourself a lien holder. This stuff can go deep, man. And I learned a lot of this stuff by some of the guys in this room. You can go real deep on this stuff. So the beneficiary is in the background. We're the ones that benefit. All right. So after today, you're going to be masters at land trusts, and you're not going to put your LLC on public record anymore. How many people got their LLC on public record? I'm not mad at you, man. I was the same way. Shit, hell, I was buying houses in my name. Who wants to do that anymore? That's pretty much it, Scott. But we can go over.
I
Yeah.
got a lot of questions.